that's a good transition to the second quarter in terms of communication, because in like I said, it's a pet peeve of mine if there's bad communication, if there's things that are unsaid. So in terms, allow me to be direct here, but in terms of addressing problems, I think that you are not afraid of confrontation, correct?
No,
So
never.
So the confrontation factor comes into play during the game. It's one thing, okay? So there's a lot of impulsive situations that you can have, whether it's in a timeout, whether it's during the game, whether it's after a defensive possession. But in terms of addressing a problem away from the game, whether it's in practice, after practice, having a hard conversation, how do you prepare for a hard conversation with a player?
Okay, I will give you a more extended answer. One thing that I learned when I was in Partizan from my assistant coach, and it's something so simple, but it's so true, okay? So I have a demanding way of coaching, okay? I always come with a plan. I give individual plans. I try to have a purpose every day, and I want my players to follow, to buy in, okay? And sometimes the risk is that you look control freak, okay? How many times you heard on a basketball court, coach, let me play. Let me play. Sometimes let me play means don't coach me, okay? I'm not the right guy, okay? And he said to me, from Monday to Saturday, coach is the God. Players should execute and do what you ask. On Sunday, they are players on the grandstand. They don't have to listen to you like they listen in practice. So they have to, you don't have to coach them with a joystick. They have to have the freedom and the instinct to play. But you build the right habits and the right culture from Monday to Friday to Saturday. And Sunday, it's their game, and they put together on the court whatever you taught them. So confrontation should never be just for confrontation. If you have to establish your power as a coach, your authority with confrontation, you're dead. Means that you cannot, it's too late. So I never prepare for confrontation, but I'm always ready when a player thinks that he's above the team. So this is not tennis, it's not golf, this is a team sport. If somebody thinks that he's above the team, we have a problem. But on the same time, not every player is the same. Whoever says that every player has the same treatment and is the same as about the role in the team is bullshit. Sorry, beep. Sorry, it's bullshit. We cannot win games like this. You have to have hierarchy, roles. And so this is when I confront a player, okay? And I'm working because sometimes I was overreacting to mistakes to the player. I'm still, this is my latest area of improvement. I have a dream. My dream is that the player knows when he has to go on the bench, okay? Because he knows exactly why he should go and why somebody else should come in his place. And this is when you have to, in order to achieve this, you need to be straight and fair. Don't lie to your players. Even if you have to say something that they dislike, they will appreciate it if you care for them. If you just say something to point the finger, you're dead. You're dead man walking. But if you care for them, and when they don't deliver, you said, hey man, you didn't do this. We need you to do this. Okay? But same time, when he does it, you said, bravo, you did the right thing. It's not only one way. So you have to praise them, and you have to say when they don't do it.
I think it's
straight and fair and honest.
it speaks for not having a double standard for each player or each individual, and still being authentic with your principles. Because I keep going back to that on every time this subject comes up, because players at the end, they respect truth, they respect authenticity. If they see that it comes from a good place and passionate place, that you are in it together, it's not that you are against them, that you are all working for the same goal, and they feel the authenticity in your voice, in your emotions, and that it comes from an honest place. I think that's the key.
That's the key. And it happened 5 days ago with one of my players. I freaked out, okay, and I address the thing that I had to address. And he's a sensitive player, okay, and he said to me, I appreciate what you're doing because you're authentic, and you say to me the truth in order for me to be better. So thank you. A player, in a confrontation, but use the word that scares me a lot: double standard. Double standard has a negative impact, okay? But I don't believe you can treat everybody the same. This is not a double standard. The standard is no one is above the team, but the roles are very clear. Mm-hmm. And I always, the first thing I do every season, I ask my players, what is a role of a player in a team? Or they answer, the thing I have to do, the thing I can do for the team, And I said, no, the role of a player is what the team expects you to do. Because if you sign a player that comes and he wants to score 30 points and you need 20 rebounds, we have a problem. Mm-hmm. So being straight, fair, and honest means I always tell to my players before they sign what I need, how I need it, and how I'm going to play them. Then after the first 3 weeks of the preseason, I adjust, adapt, and reset, because before you have the players in your gym, you never know. Only after a period together, you know what to do and how to do it.
So let me ask you this: in those confrontations that you have, whenever a conflict arises, how good or how necessary do you see admitting to a mistake that you may have made in terms of confronting the player, and then in hindsight you see I was wrong? I feel like it's important, and players respect most of the time, if they have the mental capacity, that you admit to a mistake that you did. Is that something you see necessary, or do you gloss over it and move on?
I do it on constant basis, but there is a but in this. I believe that I work my ass out every day. So in Italy, we say, only if you don't do nothing, you don't make mistakes.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm a human being. I do mistakes, and I'm never afraid to raise my hand in front of the team, in the locker room, in a film room, or on the court. The problem is that when you do too many mistakes, it cannot be a shortcut, because sometimes, you say, I did a mistake, but you have to believe that you did a mistake, and you cannot do it too often because you are paid to take right decisions.
Especially making the same mistake multiple times. I think that's a no-no. That's the same for everybody. You can't. You can make a mistake, but you cannot be the same mistake over and over again. That's for players, management, coaches, and anybody involved.